It's so nice to have you here. I'm almost kind of surprised because it sort of sometimes feels like maybe you're pivoting out of the adult stuff.
Does it?
Is there any truth to this?
No. No, there's no truth to that.
Do you think you're a lifer?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, I have to be perfectly honest. I didn't go to school. I don't have a whole lot of skill sets. Like I'm gonna make my money now, you know?
Right, definitely. But
Mm.
I feel like, okay, because you've gone through a lot of different transitions over the
Mm-hmm.
past couple years. Tell us where you're at in your life right now. You're
Well,
no longer in the castle.
personally, no, no, no. And also, like, just back to that one question, I do like a more mainstream vibe. Like, I do like dabbling in it a lot. And I think that but I'm trying to funnel back to my OnlyFans.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm trying to transition out of it completely at
But you'd
all.
never shoot for like a company again, would you?
Yes, I would.
You would? Okay.
Yeah. I would as a collaboration.
Okay.
Not because I make good money. You know,
Yeah.
we make good money. We don't have to. But also I get kind of bored shooting, on my own and my own stuff. I kind of just want somebody to just do it all for me.
The creative direction and everything.
Yeah.
It's like working at a McDonald's versus owning a McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our business is not really like
Yeah.
McDonald's, but kind of, I guess.
You're both selling beef. But okay, yeah. So not pivoting out of adult as a whole. Because you do fall into that kind of weird category, some other girls too, where it's like you're big enough and it just kind of seems like you have so many opportunities that sometimes it does feel like girls kind of wiggle their way out of doing the adult stuff.
I mean, to do what though? Like going mainstream, honestly, I would have to make competitive amount of money and then I'd be like, sure, fine, but it really depends on I like to take the easy way out. So whatever is the most fun and kind of easiest path to take, I would go.
That's interesting. So that's your whole personality as a whole?
Yes.
The easy way out.
Yes.
You cheated your way through school, I'm assuming?
I just didn't do it. And even adult and becoming successful in adult, yes, I worked really hard, but I really was having fun. Like I was just enjoying myself for the
Yeah.
most part when I was
It's
shooting for the
probably
companies.
why you became popular. It's like it
Yeah.
was obvious that you just really liked being there.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So the castle. The castle's gone.
Oh, I fucking hate that castle.
And you're staying in LA now.
Yes.
Okay.
I've been in LA for about a year now.
Right, because I think I interviewed you right about the time that you were fleeing the castle.
Yeah, I was literally fleeing. Yeah, it was really stressful to be honest. It was just like this massive financial burden, and also like when I had separated from my ex, it just didn't make sense to stay isolated in Oregon with like a multi-million-dollar home. Like,
In the middle of nowhere, yeah.
yeah,
Was it fun while it lasted, just living in the castle and I assume shooting porn in the castle?
here and there. If I'm being honest, I never was the one who really wanted to have the castle. Like I was the one who found it on Zillow because I like to play The Sims a lot. So like I was like just finding homes on Zillow that I could remake in The Sims. And I was like, "Oh, this is my dream home. Dream home. I like things that are just very like unconventional and just fun and wild and take you out of reality a bit." And he was the one who really pushed as far as like this is the next step, this is what we need, this is what we could like we could do with it. And I've always been a very I like security. Like I don't like taking chances.
hmm
Like I want to feel safe at all times with everything. So I wasn't, even though I was making good money, I wasn't really down for like to be millions of dollars in debt.
Was it really like that? Like, how expensive did the castle get?
Well, it was 3.9. I think we bought it for 3.9 million, but it was a seller carry loan with the original owner. And I forget the down payment, but there was there was a hefty down payment, and it was like the mortgage for it every month was 25, 26. Not to mention like all like furnishing it, like all the things that would go wrong. The When we first moved in, the HVAC system was broken. It was $80,000 to fix.
What?
Yeah.
For the heat.
Yes.
Because it was just so old that replacing it was.
Because it's so big. It's
Oh my
13,000 square
God.
feet.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
Wow.
no, when I think of it, I'm like, I fucking hate it. I literally I fleed.
People always warn you about buying a home, but they don't warn you about buying a castle.
I mean,
$80,000, like the vast majority of homeowners would just not even be able to consider that.
it's
Like,
such a big house. I mean, our house is 3,000 square feet, and I feel like it's a pretty big house,
I
but
think
that
it
is like
was.
nothing.
I think it was. Don't quote me on this. I think it was 13.
That's huge. That's a lot to take care
Yeah.
of.
So the decision to move to LA though, like, was that a big one? Because it feels like you kind of left LA to maybe get away from all the weird, hip, trendy stuff going out here.
It wasn't that because I've never been into well, a little bit last year, but I've never really been into the like weird, hip, trendy type stuff. I've always really just been on my own. Like when I was in LA before, I was in the Valley and I was married and, I had like a stepdaughter and everything. So even though I was shooting a lot of pornography, I would go to work and then come home and not do anything.
Yeah.
Like we just go out to dinners together and go to the pier and, go to theme parks and just really regular things like hiking all the time. Um, I think the reason I did want to leave LA is I've just always wanted to, like, I grew up in California, so I wanted to live somewhere else. And I love nature.
Mm.
So just, being able to shoot and work from wherever I wanted to just kind of seemed like a dream at the time. And I'm also not a super social person. So, like, all I really need is a partner. And,
You're happy. And your doggies.
yeah, a partner and my doggies, and I'm fine. I have all the socialization I need.
That's interesting because me and her kind of deal with that as we get older. Is like we don't maybe socialize as much as we would want. It's very hard to balance it with being family people.
Or yeah, and I'm sure when you see people, it's like, oh, I really like them. Like I
Yeah.
have a great time, but you're not gonna go out of your way because life is busy and like you guys are probably very, very busy. And like you said, you have a family, you want your downtime.
Yeah. I just like really enjoy doing solitary activities. So even if I have free time, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna read a book or like go on a
Same.
walk. It's kind
Same.
of like hard to force yourself to be like, I should call a friend to go on a walk with, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
And I see the way that it kind of impacts you when you do have something social to do, where it's like it's very chaotic and outside the box of the
You
way
suddenly care about your outfit,
Yeah.
like that zit on your face.
outfit.
even the other day when we were talking about going to comedy shows, which is something that we know that we both like doing, it's like
Mhm.
it's so different than what I think of most people doing with socializing, where like you go to a comedy club, you're probably not even gonna put makeup on, right?
Yeah.
Just throw a jacket on, put some glasses on, whatever. Whereas like you go to the club, there's just so much that comes with it. You gotta
Yeah.
stand on the
So many
couch and
steps.
buy
But
bottles.
I just blame the internet and Netflix and having video games at your disposal because I feel like I would force myself to go out and do more activities,
If you
but it's
weren't
competing
so-
with like, oh, there's a new doc on Netflix. Let's just stay home and watch that instead. And that sounds great.
Yeah, that sounds so much more fun than going to the club, which
I
is
agree.
less
kind of messed
effort.
up, right?
It is fucked
It's
up.
less effort, but it also just sounds more fun,
Art
right?
club's terrible though. I feel
Comedy
like
clubs are
you
fun.
have to.
Clubs are
No,
bad.
comedy clubs are. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do like comedy
Yeah.
clubs as
Yeah.
well.
But like the club, I think I'm just past the age where I'm willing to go.
No, I have to be like really drunk and then end up there not even knowing how I ended up there.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
And most of the
And
times,
then I'm like, let's dance.
when I would go to clubs when I was younger, it's like, yeah, we would get drunk in the car on the way there to the point where, like, by the time you get there, it's already kind of like a blur. And I feel like you almost
Yeah.
have to do that
You
to make
have
that
to
fun,
do that
right?
to make it fun. No one's
Yeah.
going to a club like I'm moderating myself today.
Yeah.
I know. Or like sober or something. Oh,
Sometimes I meet people though who like work in the club industry, and I realize that they're in there sober all the time, and I'm like, you are a very special person. You're a unique individual.
They must just hate the world and hate everyone in it. They see people for how they truly are.
But it's a great
Gosh,
place to make like business connections, and I feel like, if they're drunk, that's probably a good way to make business connections. Like they're gonna like you because they're drunk.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
I kind of
So
want to go to the club as an experiment now.
yeah, now you're like, well, what is it like?